Well, the Finance Minister P. Chidambaram says that there is no going back on reforms. In fact, in an interview to BBC, Chidambaram said that the government will continue to be on the reforms path, which will ensure a 9% growth rate. Well, Chidambaram's push comes just ahead of the government's plan to kick in a second wave of reforms. So there's good news coming in from the Finance Minister that the growth rate is expected to stay along 9%, because he says that there is absolutely no way of going back on the reforms path that the government has already embarked upon. The Prime Minister has powered through a reform blitz in the last couple of months that we've seen, but now it seems that the Congress has decided that it's going to continue powering through in the absence of allies such as Mamata Banerjee. In fact, let's listen in to what P. Chidambaram had to say to BBC. Shekhar Jha, our associate editor, is now joining us on the phone line for more on this. Mayur, it's interesting. We just heard the Finance Minister saying that they're going to continue on their reforms drive. Do we take this as an indication that today at the cabinet meet, the possibilities are that the government is again going to power through a second reform blitz?
No, absolutely. There is no doubt about the fact that the second reform blitz is all set to be undertaken as far as the government is concerned. The message that we are getting from the government is that the reform measures that the government has undertaken should not be seen in political isolation. It should be seen in a larger, the macroeconomic context, where it is also very essential for the government, which now wants to pump in a lot of money in some of the politically more relevant social sector schemes, such as the food security bill, because at this point in time, the biggest constraint that the government is facing is in terms of capital. The government does not have the money that is needed to push through some of these social sector schemes of the government. Narega has to be taken to the second level. They need money for the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, and they need a lot of money for the proposed food security bill, which is one of the most ambitious projects of the Congress president. So with this in mind, the government needs a huge capital inflow over the next quarters, and even a move like FDI and retail is not enough to bring in that kind of a capital inflow, and therefore the government is now bullish on opening up the insurance sector. In the insurance sector,